Barry Allen. I am the fastest man alive.
Hi everybody, how are we all doing? I hope you're having a good week so far. So today is Wednesday, the 3rd of December 2014. Yeah, we're not too far off from 2014 coming to an end. I can't believe how quickly this year is flying. They are coming by quick and fast, people. Anyway, here we are. The first part of the Flash versus Arrow, Brave and the Bold crossover between these two amazing shows that are airing on CW right now. So last night, obviously, the first part, the Flash versus Arrow, and it was slick. It really was amazing. Barry is there's a new metahuman in town who's has the ability to inflict, well, I say inflict, but put rage into people. He transfers rage from his eyes. His eyes go red, so when he looks at someone, their eyes go red, and therefore they have now been, hit with this rage in them. And this guy goes into the bank, and it's pretty much like 28 days later. Okay, it's like the zombie apocalypse has arrived. Everybody's killing everybody, whilst this guy goes to the bank vault, takes the money, and then disappears. Barry arrives and starts realizing that someone's about to get shot, and puts a stop to it. He's already out and about in the streets of Central City, just for the feel of it. He just wanted to take a quick jog or something like that. But yeah, so that was quite interesting. And what I love so much, and I'll mention this later on, is how this guy's abilities sort of like mirrors a certain emotional spectrum. I'll get to that in a moment. So anyway, Barry's busy trying to how should I put it? Find out who this metahuman is, and he then runs into someone comes to his rescue, essentially, because when the CCPD, Central City's finest, go after this metahuman, they're trying almost attacking each other because of his abilities to put the rage on them. He gets an arrow, not put into him, but it's like, with the wires around him, like a rope and such. And the next thing you know, there's the Arrow himself in Central City. Compliments Barry on his mask, disappears. Barry's like, oh, hello, like a little kid, basically. Diggle's tagged along, and so has Felicity Smoke, and it gets very interesting because when Barry meets up with Diggle and Felicity as Oliver's coming on his motorbike, it's quite funny because Oliver says to Felicity, I gave him a 30-minute head start, as Oliver's arriving on his bike. Diggle, however, is like shell-shocked. He's like, you're fast. And, we're all thinking, well, duh. And he just cannot believe that he is actually seeing Barry Allen in full-on speed mode. He can't fathom it, to believe that what he is seeing is actually happening. So he's very, very shell-shocked. And what's interesting is that obviously we know how Oliver Queen gets information from criminals, and his methods aren't necessarily what most people would think are good way of getting information. So Joe West and also Dr. Harrison Wells aren't happy with his methods. There's even a point of where Harrison actually has a chat with Felicity to find out who the Arrow is, because as far as Harrison's concerned, the unknown bothers him. As far as he's concerned, when something is unknown to him, he sees it as a danger. But Felicity is unwilling to reveal who the Arrow is. Of course, eventually, Harrison does find out who he is, because he's a scientist, he knows how to investigate, he knows how to work the system. So, yes. And we still don't really know what he's all about, because at one point, Oliver even turns around and says, there's something really off about that guy. So, Oliver has his suspicions about Harrison as well. When we then find out Oliver and Barry decides to go after this new metahuman whose name is actually Bivolo, Roy G. Bivolo. Our friend Cisco nicknames him Prism, which is very interesting because essentially this is where I go back to what I said at the beginning. Prism, Spectrum, Emotional Spectrum, Green Lantern, Red Lantern. Jeff Johns knows how to subtly put those little hints of the wider DC universe into these shows. It's amazing. So that was a really nice touch, especially when you saw Caitlin and Felicity actually talking about reversing the effects of this guy's abilities, how they can use light and colours to try and change and get rid of, you know, his abilities to inflict rage on other people. And talking of inflicting rage, Barry gets to the receiving end of that. Now at first it doesn't really affect him, but then eventually, as the day goes on, more and more people are talking to Barry. He starts to get angry, and yeah, and that's where the epic battle comes in between the Flash and the Arrow. Not going to say too much about the battle itself because damn, it was sweet. It was brilliant. I really love the choreography, and even Stephen Amell actually said that he had to, when he's Q&A from Facebook that I watched last night, he said that he had to do everything in slow motion so that when we see it, it's as if he's moving naturally, because obviously with Barry moving at such super speed, Oliver had to move, well I say Oliver, Stephen had to move so much slower in order for the camera work to really show us exactly how effective their moves were between each other, and it was beautifully done. So again, hats off to everybody in the choreography and the special effects department for that. Obviously earlier on, Barry's is getting trained by Oliver, to which point he gets a couple of arrows shot in his back. Oliver's like, I hear you heal fast, so stop crying like a baby, you'll be fine. So yeah, it's very, very, very fun. No, it was a really good episode. There was a moment where Eddie, who still doesn't believe about the Flash, as far as he's concerned, he's a bad person, and it's kind of proven tonight, last night rather, in the episode. Barry attacks Eddie, and Iris isn't happy about it, to which point Iris decides that she no longer wants to have anything to do with the Flash, doesn't want to see him again, and that makes Barry feel really bad because he was under the influence essentially. He was not possessed, but you know, had the rage in him, and it just distanced him from Iris. I'm hoping eventually they will come together again. Who knows? There was also a nice little to do between the gang, between Oliver, Felicity, Cisco, Caitlin, and Diggle. Where all four of them, well, Diggle, Cisco, and Caitlin are all discussing who's better, Barry or Oliver. Cisco and Caitlin are saying how Barry's got super speeds, and Diggle is saying, well, Oliver's got experience. So it's like, okay, which trumps which? And again, you have to watch the battle between the two of them to really understand exactly which one trumps which. It's just brilliant. It really is brilliant. But eventually, as I say, they do capture Bivolo, and it's, you know, they eventually Oliver and Barry part ways as well. But the reason why Oliver and his gang were actually in Central City to begin with, if you remember back towards the back end of Draw Back Your Bow 2 weeks ago, we saw Captain Boomerang appear. Well, that's the reason why, because they brought the Boomerang to Central City for the guys at Star Lab to examine, and there was actually a moment where the Boomerang was actually flying around the lab, smashing windows and stuff, and Cisco was like, oh, my bad, I'm really sorry, did not mean for that to happen. So yeah, so that was pretty interesting, but that was the reason why they were at Central City in the first place. The very end of the episode, again, not going to spoil it, but damn, didn't expect to see that. It's going to be interesting to see how they move that forward for this character, but it was good to see it. Really good to see it, so looking forward to it. We do get a character appear in this episode that Oliver has not seen for a long time, And if you remember back in season 2 of when Oliver's mother, Moira, had given this person a certain amount of money to disappear and lie about the pregnancy, well, we may see this character again. So I think things are definitely shaping up there. So it'll be interesting to see how that moves forward. So I'm really looking forward to that. But yeah, Oliver saw this person that he's not seen for a long time. As far as he's concerned, she is childless. But yeah, so I've pretty much just given it away there. So I do apologise. But anyway, thank you all very much for watching. I'm going to leave it there. Don't forget the second part of this epic crossover airs tonight. CW 8/7 Central, The Brave and the Bold. Barry comes to Starling. They do things differently here, Barry, so you better watch out. Thank you all very much. Speak to you very soon. Bye.